Have you ever been on a flight and suddenly felt the plane drop or shake, leaving you wondering what causes turbulence? It's a common phenomenon that can be unsettling, especially if you're not sure what's going on. You might feel like you're on a roller coaster with the plane jerking up and down or side to side, and it's natural to worry about your safety. But here's the surprising part. Turbulence is actually a normal part of flying, and it's not as scary as it seems. In fact, planes are designed to withstand turbulence, and it's incredibly rare for it to cause any real harm. So, what exactly is turbulence, and why does it happen? To understand that, let's start with the basics. Air is made up of different layers, kind of like a big stack of blankets, and when these layers move at different speeds, they can create pockets of air that are moving up or down. And that's where turbulence comes in. It's essentially air pockets that the plane flies through, causing the shaking or dropping sensation. But don't worry, we'll dive deeper into the details and explore what causes turbulence, so you can feel more comfortable and secure on your next flight. What causes turbulence, anyway? It's not just random air pockets, but rather a complex interaction of different air layers moving at various speeds and directions. Think of it like being on a boat in a river, where you have fast and slow currents. If you're sailing along and suddenly hit a patch where the water is moving much faster or slower, you'll feel a jolt, right? It's similar with air. The atmosphere is made up of different layers, kind of like the different currents in that river. And when these layers interact, they can create turbulence. Imagine air as a series of invisible rivers, each with its own speed and direction. And sometimes these rivers clash, producing those bumpy pockets we feel as turbulence. And here's the interesting part. These air movements can be influenced by a variety of factors, including weather patterns, mountain ranges, and even the jet stream. So, when we hit turbulence, it's not just the plane shaking, it's the result of these complex air movements interacting with each other. And understanding this can actually help us feel more at ease when we encounter turbulence. So, what's behind these air movements, and how do they really affect our flight? Vocabulary: turbulence, atmosphere, currents, jet stream. What role do mountains and wind play in causing turbulence? You might be surprised to learn that mountains can actually create turbulence, even on a clear, sunny day. When air flows over a mountain, it creates waves, similar to how water flows over rocks in a river. These waves can be thousands of feet high and can cause an airplane to shake or wobble. And here's the surprising part. These mountain waves can be strong enough to affect an airplane flying at cruising altitude. It's not just mountains, though. Wind shear can also lead to turbulence. Wind shear is when the wind speed or direction changes suddenly, creating pockets of turbulent air. Imagine driving on a highway and suddenly hitting a patch of rough road. It's similar to what an airplane experiences when it flies through wind shear. These changes in wind speed or direction can cause an airplane to drop or climb unexpectedly, leading to turbulence. So, not only do we have to worry about air layers and movements, but also the impact of mountains and wind on the air we fly through. And that's what makes turbulence so complex and fascinating. Vocabulary: turbulence, wind shear, altitude, cruising. What causes turbulence when we're flying through different weather systems, like thunderstorms or fronts? Think of it like the ocean, where two different currents meet, creating choppy waters. In the air, it's similar. When two different air masses meet, they can create turbulence. This is because air masses have different temperatures, humidity levels, and wind speeds, and when they collide, they can create pockets of unstable air. And here's the surprising part. These pockets of unstable air can rise or fall rapidly, creating currents that can shake an airplane. Weather systems like thunderstorms or fronts are particularly prone to turbulence because they involve the meeting of different air masses. For example, a cold front moving into an area of warm air can create a boundary where the two air masses meet, and this boundary can be a source of turbulence. So, when you're on a flight and the pilot announces that you're flying through a front, that's what's happening. The plane is navigating through an area where two different air masses are meeting, and that's causing the bumpy ride. And the good news is that pilots and air traffic control are trained to anticipate and navigate these areas of turbulence. So even though it might feel bumpy, you're still safe. So, to answer our question, weather systems and fronts can indeed cause turbulence, but it's all part of the normal ups and downs of flying, and pilots are always working to minimize the impact on your flight. Vocabulary: turbulence, thunderstorms, fronts, air masses. So, what causes turbulence, and should we be worried about it? Let's get to the good news. Turbulence, while it can be uncomfortable, is incredibly rare as a safety concern. Think of it like driving on a bumpy road. It might be annoying, but it's not going to cause a crash. And here's the part most people don't know. Planes are built to withstand turbulence, with a safety margin that's incredibly high. In fact, a commercial airliner can fly through turbulence that would be extreme for a small plane and still be completely safe. Pilots are also trained to navigate through turbulence, using sophisticated weather radar and communication with air traffic control to minimize its impact. And the numbers back this up. You're more likely to get injured from a car accident on the way to the airport than from turbulence on a flight. So, while turbulence might be uncomfortable, it's not something to lose sleep over. And that's a big relief for nervous flyers. Now, let's put this all together and see how turbulence fits into the bigger picture of flying safely. Vocabulary: turbulence, safety, concern, margin. So what causes turbulence exactly? This is the question we've been exploring throughout our journey, and now it's time to put all the pieces together. To answer your question, turbulence is caused by a combination of air movements, kind of like when you're in a car and you drive through a patch of rough road. It's similar to that, but up in the air. Mountain waves, which are like ripples on a lake, can also cause turbulence when air flows over mountains. And then there's wind shear, which is when wind speed or direction changes suddenly, like when you're on a boat and you hit a patch of choppy water. Finally, weather systems, like thunderstorms or fronts, can also create turbulence. Now that you know what's behind those bumpy flights, you can feel more at ease the next time you're on a plane. Turbulence is still incredibly rare, and planes are designed to withstand it. So the next time you hit some turbulence, just remember that it's a normal part of flying. If you found this explanation helpful, consider subscribing for more insights into how flying really works. If you'll never look at a plane the same way, you know what to do. Vocabulary: turbulence, mountain, wind, subscription.